my name is Kate Milner, and I've written a book called No Money Day, which is about the experience of a little girl whose mother has to rely on food banks. It's a day in their lives. So they wake up in the morning and there's very little in the cupboard to eat. In fact, the mother doesn't get anything for breakfast and the little girl just has a slice of toast. And they think of ways of having fun when they've got no money to spend, and then they go off to the food bank where the little girl has quite a nice time eating biscuits and talking to one of the lady volunteers there and drawing pictures while the mother chooses some food for them, and off they go home dreaming of what they could have in an ideal world if they had all the money they wanted. And of course, because of the food bank, they're able to have something to eat in the evening and snuggle up together at night time. For me, the point of the book, the entire point of the book, is to get children to empathise with the situation of the characters. It's the point of doing them. The idea being all the way through that book that we get the children, the readers, to ask themselves, what must it feel like to be doing that, to be in that situation? All of these suggestions that the readers should empathise with the characters are in the pictures. The words, the story is from the little girl's point of view. And she is perhaps, I think crucially, she's probably younger than most of the children who end up reading that book. So she is just saying from her point of view how they go to the charity shop and they try things on, and that's quite fun, and she chases the pigeons, and then we go to the food bank. So it's not, and I think it's important for me that it's like this, that it's not a kind of misery, oh, our life is miserable, because I don't think children think like that. But I think if you look at the pictures, you are led to question the kind of the fairly cheerful version of the day that the little girl is giving you. The little girl says, the text on the page, I think it's 2 or 3, says, I have a piece of toast for breakfast, luckily mum isn't hungry. But when I'm in front of school children, which I am quite a lot, I say, do you think that's right? Do you think mum is hungry? And they'll go, no, mum is hungry. So it's by reading the pictures that you can see that things are more complicated than the child is presenting them to you. The numbers, I think there've been some the Trussell Trust and charities that are doing research on this issue, talking about the numbers of children, the sheer numbers who find themselves living in families that rely on food banks, who haven't got enough. And of course, that's only got worse over the years since I first thought about that book. So it was partly that, and also I very much wanted children in this situation to see the reality of their lives reflected in a book. If they are in that situation themselves, I wanted to see themselves and their lives reflected in a reasonably positive way. I think that's something that's so important that children's literature does for children. And also, I think I wanted them to understand what are those bins in the supermarket there for? What's going to happen to the food that's put in there? And perhaps, say to their parents when they're out shopping with them, could we just put something in the food bank bin so that it can be collected and taken to people who really need it? It's actually part of feeling that you belong in a place, I think, that you are part of a community, is to think, if I can see a problem, I should do what I can to solve it. I shouldn't think it's somebody else's problem. I think that is important. But it's also important and not to be overwhelmed. And there are a lot of good things. People are generous. Children want to help. Their parents want to help. People do respond to problems in their community, often with generosity and thoughtfulness, and they pick each other up when they fall down, and they give them a bit of money, and they ask if they're all right and if there's anything they can do. So that, to me, is very important as well.
Hello, we're from Pembroke Community School. We've been reading It's a No Money Day. A little girl not having any food because they had no money. But they said it's a no money day because they didn't have any money, so they went to the food bank to get some food so they won't. So the little girl won't be hungry.
I'm Kate Clark from Pembroke Community School, and I'm their class teacher. And we've been reading It's a No Money Day as part of our global goals topic. And when we read the book, the pupils really empathised with the characters, and they had an empathy resolution that they really wanted to make a change in our community and help people who live in poverty.
Brushes, apples, oranges, bananas, some green fidgets, hats, fidgets, sunscreen.
They decided then to write letters to the supermarkets in our locality and to our head teacher to ask what we could do to make a change. And as you can see from their trolleys and things that they've got here, they've made a huge change in our community.
Have a great Empty Action Month.